Welcome back to the EPA 608 training series. In this lesson, we'll review essential concepts about air conditioning components, refrigerants, and key regulations under the Clean Air Act. Let's get started. Question 1. Which air conditioning system part transforms low-pressure refrigerant vapor into high-pressure vapor? A. Condenser. B. Compressor. C. Evaporator. D. Metering device. The correct answer is B. Compressor. The compressor is the component in an air conditioning or refrigeration system that takes in low-pressure refrigerant vapor from the evaporator and compresses it into a high-pressure, high-temperature vapor. This process is essential for enabling heat transfer in the condenser, where the refrigerant releases heat and condenses back into a liquid. The compressor effectively acts as the system's pump, maintaining refrigerant flow and pressure throughout the cycle. Question 2. What characteristics make it easy for CFCs to reach the stratosphere, and how do they get there? A. CFCs are lighter than air atoms and rise into the stratosphere. B. Heating of the CFCs makes them lighter than air. C. CFCs are chemically stable and do not break down in the lower atmosphere, allowing them to persist and gradually drift into the stratosphere. D. CFCs will not dissolve in water or break down into compounds that dissolve in water. Wind moves them into the stratosphere. The correct answer is C. CFCs are extremely chemically stable in the troposphere, or lower atmosphere, which means they do not readily react with other compounds or dissolve in rainwater. This stability allows them to remain intact for years and slowly rise into the stratosphere through atmospheric mixing processes. Once in the stratosphere, UV radiation breaks them apart, releasing chlorine atoms that catalyze the destruction of ozone. Their stability is what makes them both useful in industrial applications and harmful to the ozone layer. Question 3. State the advantages that led to R-134a's prevalent use as a refrigerant. A. It costs less. B. It is a drop-in replacement for R-11. C. It is a drop-in replacement for R-22. D. HFCs do not contain any chlorine. The correct answer is D. HFCs do not contain any chlorine. R-134a became widely used as a refrigerant because it is an HFC or hydrofluorocarbon, meaning it contains no chlorine. This makes it non-ozone depleting, unlike CFCs or HCFCs, which release chlorine that damages the ozone layer. R-134a was commonly adopted to replace R-12 in systems such as automotive air conditioning. While it does not harm the ozone layer, it does have global warming potential, so newer alternatives are being explored. Question 4. Explain the fundamental aim of the CAA Clean Air Act. A. Clean the air in the U.S. B. Limit how much of a pollutant can be in the air in the U.S. C. Regulate California air quality. D. Regulate civil aeronautics. The correct answer is B. Limit how much of a pollutant can be in the air in the U.S. The Clean Air Act, or CAA, is a federal law designed to protect public health and the environment by regulating air emissions from stationary and mobile sources. Its primary goal is to establish national air quality standards and limit the amount of harmful pollutants, such as ozone, particulate matter, carbon monoxide, and sulfur dioxide, that can be present in outdoor air throughout the United States. This law empowers the EPA to monitor, enforce, and update air quality standards as needed to ensure cleaner and safer air. Question 5. Identify the 3 primary actions the Clean Air Act, CAA, implements to manage chlorofluorocarbon emissions. A. Prohibit venting of CFC and HCFC-B. Require the EPA to set standards for recovery of refrigerants prior to appliance disposal. C. Set dates to phase out CFCs and HCFCs. D. All the above. The correct answer is D. All the above. The Clean Air Act includes several actions to manage emissions of CFCs and HCFCs. It requires phase-out schedules for the production and use of these substances, prohibits the intentional venting of refrigerants during servicing or disposal, and directs the EPA to establish standards for proper recovery and disposal of refrigerants. Together, these measures help protect the ozone layer and reduce environmental harm from refrigeration and air conditioning systems. Question 6. Describe additional measures states may implement beyond the scope of the CAA. All of the above. B. Enforce standards more strict than the CAA laws. C. Nothing. D. States can create their own laws. The correct answer is B. Enforce standards more strict than the CAA laws. Under the Clean Air Act, states are permitted to enforce air quality and environmental standards that are stricter than federal requirements. While the federal government sets minimum nationwide standards through the EPA, individual states may adopt more protective laws and policies, especially in areas with greater pollution concerns. However, states cannot weaken or override the federal baseline standards established by the CAA. Question 7. State 3 possible outcomes for noncompliance with the CAA. A. Fine up to $27,500 per day per violation. B. May lose your certification to handle refrigerants. C. May need to appear in U.S. federal court for the charges. D. All the above. The correct answer is D. All the above. Violating the Clean Air Act can result in serious consequences. The law is enforced by the Environmental Protection Agency to protect the atmosphere from harmful emissions, including improper handling of refrigerants. Noncompliance can lead to civil penalties of up to $27,500 per day per violation. Technicians may lose their EPA certification to buy or handle refrigerants. In severe cases, violators may be required to appear in U.S. federal court and face additional legal action. These outcomes highlight the importance of following EPA rules and refrigerant handling standards at all times. Question 8. Identify the motivations individuals have for reporting Clean Air Act violations. A. None of the above. B. An award of up to $1,000 is offered by the EPA. C. An award of up to $10,000 is offered by the EPA. D. An award of up to $100,000 is offered by the EPA. The correct answer is C. An award of up to $10,000 is offered by the EPA. To encourage the reporting of environmental violations, the Environmental Protection Agency may offer a monetary reward of up to $10,000 for tips that lead to a successful enforcement action under the Clean Air Act. This incentive is intended to promote accountability and compliance with regulations, particularly in the handling, recovery, and disposal of refrigerants. The EPA values whistleblowers as an important part of environmental enforcement. Great job completing this lesson. Understanding these EPA 608 principles is essential for safe, responsible, and compliant HVAC work.